I call to order the meeting of Personnel Committee on August 9th, 2022 at 7:14 p.m. First item of business is the approval of minutes. I need a motion on the draft minutes of June 7, 2022.
I move approval of the minutes.
Any discussion?
No.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Next item is item 3, public appearances for non-agenda items. We have nobody online or in chambers, so we can move on to item number 4, agenda items. A, authorization for flexibility to hire outside of step 1 to step 6. And let's go ahead and get a motion on that right now.
I move approval of authorizing for flexibility to hire outside step 1 and 6.
And Chad?
Yes, thank you again for coming in tonight for the special meeting. We certainly appreciate it here from a staff perspective to allow us to try to be flexible and somewhat nimble in a government operation. So the reason we have this request before you tonight is, as you know, our IT director is leaving the city, and it necessitates hiring a new IT director. While we have many critical positions within the city, clearly IT director is one of those, and we certainly want to try to minimize the time in which we take to post and fill this position so that we're definitely taking the necessary steps to minimize that timeline. As you also know, we're in the process of doing a market poll to determine our salaries and how we compare with a lot of our comparable communities. You will be getting a presentation on that right around October 1st. I think we've got a tentative date of September 28th, actually, is where we're looking to target, where you'll get a full presentation from the consultant and city staff on what the results of that market poll are looking like and how we could potentially look to implement them. Unfortunately, one of the positions that we know is currently under compensated as it relates to comparable positions, one of many, is IT director. And if we go out and try to fill this position currently based upon the salary structure that we have, we're just really concerned that we won't get a nice pool of candidates. So that's what's led to this request. Typically, we would hire new positions within the hiring range, step 1 through 6. However, under our current pay structure, step 6 is not going to be adequate compensation. It's not in line with what the preliminary results of the market poll are looking like either. So what we've presented in front of you now is recognizing the tightness of the labor market and the compensation flexibility that's needed in order to attract the right candidates here to Fitchburg and ideally have the flexibility to hire them. We're basically, you can see in the language here, looking for authorization to post position vacancies and start new hires within the pay for performance steps of the pay range when the city administrator in consultation with the finance director and human resources manager look at the labor market factors in consideration when looking at that hiring range. Again, typically our goal would be to hire within range 1 to 6, but because of the labor market, we feel that this change is appropriate to request so that in those positions where we need to look at a different hiring rate, we have that ability to negotiate that with the candidate. And then this would be for all hires, obviously moving forward. This is what this authorization is seeking, not specifically just for the IT director position, but again, that's the impetus for why we're here. So just want to make sure that we're all clear on that.
So, okay, I have a question.
Sure.
So if we are planning to have that presentation with the new fees, weight-based structure, so this authorization is going to be for a limited period, or is going to be permanent, or is until we establish the new steps, like the ranges?
Sure.
I want to understand that.
We're asking for a permanent authorization. This would become part of city policy based upon the city, the personnel committee ideally approving that. And I do want to stress that we'll just operate under an assumption here, a hypothetical scenario in which the results of the market poll are fully implemented. Our goal would be to hire within range 1 to 6. That's really what the pay plan is designed to do, is hire within 1 to 6. If we are successful in fully implementing the market poll results, there may be little, if any, need to move into the pay for performance range. But again, recognizing that it seems like the labor market issues are here for the foreseeable future, instead of coming back to the Personnel Committee regularly to request it for each individual position, and also to try to, again, minimize the timelines that we're operating under, we thought that it would be best to again, request authorization, just period. And again, one of the things that we did in here is to make sure that there was no feelings like this is a unilateral decision by one individual, myself, is the policy does include that I'm expected to consult with the finance director and the human resources manager both on any decisions that would be made. So, and I'm perfectly comfortable with that. I think that in particular, our human resource manager is the subject matter expert on our hiring processes and what the labor market is looking like and what our candidate pools are looking like. So,
Yeah, I'm going to see in a negotiation, you could very quickly lose someone if you have to go back to a committee and
Correct.
schedule and
Yeah,
Right.
but I am thinking about internal control too, you know what I mean? So, because I don't want only the three of you, you can come, you're a good person, but you can come and increase the salary without, you know what I mean, outside the step, we, personnel committee or the council, don't have a clue, you know what I mean? So I am looking more like my accountant mind is looking about what are the internal control, you know, about, yes, there are 3 persons, you know, it's going to be you in consultation with the finance man, you know, but they're all in the same bucket, you know what I mean, internally. So, so the question is, maybe when I think with every time this situation happens, maybe you also need to send an email to the council telling this is what is, we are approving this, you know, to be in the loop. You
or
know
at
what I
least
mean?
the personnel committee.
Or the personnel committee. You know what I mean? We don't need to come back, but I think we need to have some internal control too, because now you are in power, you know what I mean? But what happens if the 3 of you disappear and we have other type of personnel, they say, oh, we're going to increase our fee, whatever we want, because we can do it, you know what I mean? So this is what I am thinking, you know? It's not like because I don't trust you guys. I am looking, this is a permanent resolution, and people come and go. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So, and looking at internal control, you know, like, because now we are the internal control, the personnel committee, but then we are giving you all this authority, but because we trust you, but then you can be out in 3 or 4 years, and we have a new set of people with different set of values. So how do we, you know what I mean?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, no, and I appreciate that you recognize the trust and acknowledge the trust that you have in not only me, but other staff, and that is certainly something that's valued by us. And I don't have any issues if I need to notify or human resources need to notify if we've actually started somebody in the pay for performance range. I will put a bit of a caveat on that if I can, and that would be a new hire to the city. Because I do know that in certain positions, just because of internal compression from a promotional standpoint, we have to promote people into the pay for performance
No,
range.
I know,
So
I get it.
I
but
just
it's
want to
more-
make
yeah,
sure that that's not part of this
No, I know.
notification,
That
so.
it's more like new hires.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
Because
I don't have any concern with that whatsoever. That's fine with me.
I have a question, Chad. So here in this information that we have in the packet, talk about the 2022 grade order list, you know, whatever it is that, and the IT director doesn't have any minimum or maximum amount per hour, you know. So that one was left in blank for a reason, or because I want to understand.
Or is it that whole scale?
Where?
Is it like a band for everybody in that?
Yeah,
list?
there's a band for
Oh,
everyone.
I had
the
P,
the
I had to
PR.
rotate
Okay,
it
yeah,
to
yeah,
see,
yeah.
because
Okay.
otherwise I was doing what
I get it.
Gabriella was doing and trying to turn my head to.
Oh,
to
so
read it,
this the P, they are all these 4 positions. Okay.
Yep.
Oh no, 1, 2, 3, 5 positions. Okay.
Yep.
So the minimum is 43 to 96 and 50. So you don't think that you're gonna get a person in that range?
Not in that field, yeah.
Okay.
Nope, not at all.
Okay. Do we have the money in the budget to absorb this?
Mhm.
Yeah, okay. So do you have any
It'll
idea what
likely
it's
be
gonna
through savings from the vacancy is how
Okay,
we'll
okay,
cover
okay.
that. Yeah.
Do you have any idea what is gonna be the range? Do you have anything in mind?
What we'll look to target is where the market pull is
Okay.
indicating we should be
Okay.
at. That's
Okay.
what we're going to use as our guide, and that would be within the step 1 to 6. Likely, probably the step 6 hiring range is really what we're going to be looking
Okay.
at for that position, just because we know that that might even be a little bit on the light end
Yeah, I
to
know.
get somebody in.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
So just so that there's clarity, why don't we
Mhm.
go ahead, I'll make a motion to
Mhm.
add a step to notify the Personnel Committee
Mhm.
when this this process is put into
Mhm.
place for a new hire,
sure.
Yeah.
just so there's some notification. So that is an official amendment. Any discussion on that? All right, let's take a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. So that's amended. And then any additional questions or discussion? Great, let's take a vote then. All in favor of authorizing this, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you both.
And next step is announcements. I don't believe there's any announcements, so we'll move on to step 6, adjournment. I need a motion.
I move to adjourn.
Great. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. We are adjourned at 7:26 PM.